Is NFL Props Week 8 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
It's a spicy Thursday, Sean.
It is a lot of pot stirring going on social media. Joining us in studio, you know him from the Bottom Line Bombs podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. The Deli Llama himself, the man in the box, CJ Solomon. What's happening, CJ?
What's up, fellas? I'm also the Bombino during this baseball season. I should have put Kramer while I'm talking. If you want to, I forgot I was just in here recording the Bottom Line Bombs, which everyone should record. And as I was doing my man in the box, I could not take the Yankee jersey behind me, so I switched out Virginia Tech.
That's fine.
If you want to switch it back, understandable. I mean, I get it. Go Yanks. All that whole thing. I just couldn't look at it the entire time. Although I have
my split. I'm fans of both teams. Jersey hasn't come out.
Did you order it?
No. But if anyone I know there's a couple people that like to send me the Etsy links or the pristine auction links.
Legalized
when
marinara.
applicable. If anyone wants to send me a link for a half Dodger, half Yankee jersey, I will buy it. Size large.
I saw a disgusting half Aaron Judge, half Shohei hat. It was like both of them like, when is this ever okay?
Yeah, I did see that. It was like, it's okay to be a Dodgers fan. Right. It's okay to be a Yankees fan. It's not okay to wear this hat.
It is never okay.
What do you
do? I mean, disgusting. Like, yeah, I get it. If you're the mom of two sons on two different teams,
you
like,
adopted Shohei and Aaron Judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Just great eye for talent. I mean, what situation?
It's the blind side. If you just absolutely to the tits, like 6-leg parlay, you take that money, roll it into a 10-legger.
That's a orphan agency / Dominican scouting league / West Coast league.
You raised Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge.
Right.
My God,
that's right.
Great to have CJ on here. A little bit of news here for the Thursday night.
You must have.
Thursday night game. Puka is back. Ryan, does that scare you off? I know I went heavy on some Kupp receptions. You like the Kupp yards. Both to me are strong plays. Even still with the Puka news, is that scaring you off any of the Kupp ladders, receptions, that kind of stuff?
If you listen to the Thursday night show, we were talking about this very thing. I said this is the exact number that was being used when Puka was healthy. We kind of just blew by it as if it was a massive edge for us. Turned out the prop market was telling us all along. They knew Puka was going to play. I believe
void before the game starts. Void. Like, you can take it out now.
I believe me mentioning Puka potentially playing caused you to react viscerally on the NFL Pick Show, telling me absolutely not. And so I'm not going to take a victory lap there, but
what?
Oh, just you were very certain he wasn't going to play.
Yeah,
dismissive of my warnings to the great people that listen to this program.
But how is it a warning to me? I was always on the Rams, so yeah.
I was just bringing it up.
Okay, I was grading it as he's not going to play, and if he does, it's a sweet bonus. I gave out Rams as my money
for the Rams side. For the Cooper Kupp thing, I've been asked about this as well on social media. A lot of people slide into my DMs to out leaners and react to my prop takes. But yeah, no, it does seem like we like Cooper either way, because this is probably his last game on the Rams.
I'd say my model has Puka making a little bit of an impact. Four catches for 50 yards. I might have my model.
Fucking model.
I saw.
I have a model.
Someone slid into my DMs. They said 70 yards for Puka Nacua.
Wow.
Plus 650.
Whoa. Okay.
I mean, if he's
My
fully
number's
healthy.
close. It's a tick up than mine, not mine number, but I can see that.
Hard to see actual news in my DMs with all the lean reporting.
Well,
going on.
we have
Let's get
CJ
into it.
here.
Yeah, sure.
We got to hit him one time with the awesome lean video. And again, reminder: if you see,
You want me to cut this off after a couple seconds? Just play it through.
you can play it through. If you see something, say something on social media. Hit him with the leaning tower. Hit him with the
Wait, hold on.
drinking lean.
I like
might-
how it goes over
okay.
me, and I can lean with it.
Yeah.
Look, ready?
Lean with
Oh,
Man, that's
so
fun. That is great.
it's so far the campaign.
it angers the touts so much,
Well,
and
you
the touts
guys-
are coming out of the woodwork to defend the idea of leans. It's insane.
I've seen you guys been rebel rousing all week long.
Rebel rousing.
Rabble.
Yeah, and I'm liking you guys embracing the social media content
Thank
world.
you,
You know,
thank
the
you.
man in the box has always been out there in the forefront, trying to get it out to trying to bring you guys up there with me. And now you guys are up there, and you guys are coming in hot. I love it.
Very hot.
And rousing people up with the lean. The touts are coming back after you. Now, a lot of them don't give actual decisions on the leans itself. They do lean, they straddle the fence, and they even on leans they give a lean of opinion.
Yeah, people were like, I can see both sides in the war on leans. There's only one side.
Right.
All lanes must be eliminated. That's my goal in sports gambling.
Shout out to Adam Chernoff who followed me.
Yes, shout out to
love
Chernoff.
Cherny.
Followed me to lean on the leans. as you guys mentioned.
There's a
Which
time
truly elite. I mean, the levels of meta that are we're achieving 3 or 4 layers deep in the matrix right now.
There's a time to lean and there's a time to clean, and we are cleaning up the leans in the sports gambling industry.
That's the bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Clean the leans.
Clean up the
That's-
leans.
You got a hashtag.
Clean the leans.
Or
Clean the
just
leans.
clean, and it's like a big red circle with the X, and it's lean. So it's the
I like
C.
that.
Lowercase
is
c,
the-
capital
No,
L.
the C is the no circle,
wow.
and then lean is in there.
Yes,
we're
that's-
clean.
that's a graphic
It's like
design.
the
That's a graphic
Scientologists-
designer's mind right
the
there.
Scientologists are clear.
Yeah.
We're clean.
All right, I like that.
What's your theta level?
Beautiful logo. Clean the lean's a good hashtag too, though. That always goes
Clean the
trending.
lean.
Yeah.
Clean the leans. I like it.
It's better to campaign for this than anything else going on in the world right now.
Yeah, this is the most important issue that faces our country right now. Hashtag clean the leans. That has a nice ring to it. Almost as good as the nickname we stumbled upon, Ryan, last night. We'll run it by CJ, but Jameis Winston, aka Joe Blacko. BLACCO. He's gonna save their season.
Is that offensive?
Oh, man, no.
I think Jameis Winston would enjoy the comparison to Joe Flacco.
That's hilarious, and you could even you go so
Joe
many different
Blacko.
ways. And this season, his debut, Browns fans can meet Joe Blacko.
Yes, meet Joe Black. Meet
Right.
Joe Blacko. Works
That's
with
the
so
movie
many
poster.
levels.
Yeah,
Photoshop
that's what I'm
Jameis
saying.
onto Meet
Of
Joe
course.
Black.
Right.
Meet Joe Blacko.
Meet Joe Blacko. And that's how you get around the old like, no, it's not because of a racial thing. Yeah,
no.
it's Joe
Jake,
Black.
if you're listening,
Yeah.
execute.
Speaking of which, Ryan, on the thumbnail, I know you're high on the Browns. I think there's a lot of fun angles to play in Jameis's return. David Njoku over 52.5 receiving yards. How can you not get in here? And well, one, it's Jameis coming back, giving their passing game a pulse, but the Ravens do lead the league in pass yards given up to the tight end. So I'll start there. David Njoku over 52.5 receiving yards. I assume you're on that. Maybe like the catches, maybe like the touchdowns.
I'll save my words about David Njoku to another segment later in the show.
Stay tuned.
Let's put it this way: if this man, if David Njoku wore the garb of this profession and showed up at a female bachelorette party or something,
They would grab the stick.
there would be a lot of wet panties.
Fireman David.
Don't spoil the bit.
Ladder. Stay tuned for the ladder segment.
Topless Njoku later.
Whoa.
Kramer, what do you got? Give us a prop.
Can I just start with an anytime touchdown?
Sure, those are always fun.
So turns out Taysom Hill's playing.
Oh yeah.
Did you know he played quarterback in college?
What?
Yes.
Yeah, it's wild. And they're starting a quarterback who hasn't played very well at quarterback in the pros.
Hold on.
Yeah. So we're connecting the dots. Plus 270 on
Come
the anytime
on, what are we
touchdown.
talking about here?
I will say my initial intention was to ladder his rushing yards.
Right.
Those lines are not available yet. So I'm going to leave that thought in the ether. So when it happens, be ready, strike. But anytime touchdown plus 270, Sean, we might as well just pencil in a Taysom Hill step ladder touchdown for the VSiN show, or something like that. We've been here before.
That's insanity.
This feels like one of the more obvious spots on the board. Plus 270.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
No, it's bonkers. And Ryan, does Taysom Hill celebrate National Tight End Day? I saw in the chat.
Of course,
they were pointing out the fourth Sunday of the fourth Sunday in October is of course National Tight End Day. So I would assume Taysom Hill celebrates a plus 270 anytime touchdown. Great number for him. I think he's interesting in the 2 touchdown market once again, especially if Kamara, the hand is bothering him a little bit. There's probably a reason that news came out. CJ, what do you got? Give us a prop.
All right. Well, I'll spin off your Joe Blacko because that's an amazing nickname. Of course, I support that. We even got the movie poster. I love Njoku. I'm excited for this game just to see like how bad was Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like because there's talent all around. Like if you just put a quarterback that's not making historically bad numbers out there, what's going to happen out there? And if you look when he did get hurt, and there was receivers did put up numbers last week. Cedric Tillman.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Their rookie last year.
Going.
3rd round pick from last year, 2003, homegrown product that they like. He racked up 12 targets in the jump and wound up grabbing 8 for 81. You know, he's the guy they've always wanted to get playing. You know, they shipped, of course, they shipped Cooper out. Jerry Jeudy has already said he just doesn't feel like playing this year at all. He's just not going to participate.
Yeah, he looks like checked out.
Right. I looked at Elijah Moore too, but I'm liking Cedric Tillman. They're going to try to feed him the ball. His numbers are 3.5, 40.5 for receptions or yards. I like his receptions. I mean, anyone who grabbed 12 targets this year and last week. I'm saying with the quarterback who will be throwing. He loves going to the perimeters. Winston.
Stay tuned because I have a Tillman Tillman play as well.
Beautiful.
CJ.
So I'll go over 3.5 catches. Cedric Tillman first prop.
Love it. All right, next prop.
And I will stay tuned as well. I'm not going anywhere. I was going to walk out and here's the ladder, throw the clipboard,
catch some daytime TV.
Yeah.
For me,
show up late, leave early. That's my policy.
I like watching this guy run super hard. Only 5 carries in the game against the Titans, but still turned it into 41 yards. Ray Davis over 21.5 rushing yards. I know Cook is their guy, but he's kind of struggled momentum wise. He's still dealing with that foot.
Sean is hot for Ray Davis. He's been talking about him all week.
No, the story of Ray Davis, he's literally a hungry guy, grew up homeless, and you can run on Seattle. They gave up 155 rush yards in a win against Atlanta. I think the Bills are going to be able to run the ball. Ray Davis, nice change of pace back, over 21.5 rushing yards. And of course that also came up in my rhythm props. Of course, go get your sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get your 7-day free trial. They also have, they just did the NBA, and shout out to people who've been DMing me about all the sweet runs they've had courtesy of the rhythm pick. So DM's always open for that and whatever else. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Kramer, what's another prop you got?
Well, quick aside about Cedric Tillman. If you remember, Sean, during the 2023 NFL draft lead up, one of the markets I tend to do well in, the first receiver market, I brought up Cedric Tillman.
Oh yeah.
Because everyone knew Jalen Hyatt from some of the big explosive games, but Cedric Tillman was more of the pro ready kind of route runner. He was 100-1 I gave out to be the first receiver drafted. I was horribly wrong, but this is his time. He's a dude.
He is a dude.
100%.
Cleveland been low key pretty good at figuring out wide receiver. I mean, they did just get rid of Amari Cooper. Seem to have some replacements. All right, I'll stay on this team. You think we're gonna do this show in the first game? We get to watch Jameis Winston play quarterback in some time, and I'm not gonna take the over 225.5 passing yards.
No, easy.
Is this not the? I mean, this. Also, maybe ladder consideration for the VSiN show. The passing yards here. I mean, do we not remember when he threw for 5,000 yards?
Right, he led the league in
this
everything.
Guy has 0 fucks to give. He's clearly found God or some sort of greater power that has allowed him to become one of the greatest mental manipulators and motivators. The team is going to be so juiced up. if he there is a chance he looks bad, and I'm trying not to think about that piece of the pie.
No, I think he could have some bad throws, but the great thing about Jameis is he doesn't know when to quit. And he is going to keep
Uber drivers, crab legs. Football.
He's not a guy that's like, oh, I'm getting some negative feedback. I should stop what I'm doing. Yeah. He's gonna keep going. So even if he does throw an interception, he starts off with like a couple incompletions. He's a volume shooter. He is going to shoot, Ryan, and Jameis Winston is going to be shooting a lot.
I'm just gonna watch a lot of him doing his training regimen. A lot of him, just lots of Jameis videos being watched.
In all his speeches too. Like
so good.
I mean, and everyone, where he thinks it's genius. You know what I mean? It sounds very profound.
Yeah.
But it's there's just something.
Preacher.
There's something off about it.
Minister or whatever.
He's definitely auditioning for not quite your first take, but he sees. I'll just say he's seen Cam Newton's path, and he's like, I can do this.
I can be Cam.
Newton. I can be Cam Newton,
guy who had a couple of years good statistically, not winning the Super Bowl. Shout out to Old Fashioned Football pointing out, and make sure you check that show out on SGPN. Checking in on the chat. How do we feel about DJ Moore ladders? Can he have another 230-yard performance against Washington like he had last year? Yeah, I totally forgot. I mean, 8 for 230 and 3 touchdowns last year against the Redskins. That is that's an insane stat line, especially considering what they had going at quarterback. DJ Moore was not on my roster or on my list, but maybe he should be. 230 is insane.
Be careful. This is J-Mark just pushing his Bears narrative.
Yeah.
And remember, J-Mark out on Caleb.
He was out on Caleb Williams. Thought they should build around Justin Fields, but maybe he's changed his tune. I think I mean certainly at least the over there, because I think people look at that Commanders defense and they're like, oh, the defense is better than people think. Yeah, I mean, playing Andy Dalton will make your defense look good. I'm skeptical. I think the Bears will be able to move the ball, but DJ Moore, good angle. CJ, what do you got?
Well, before we get to CJ, can I say one more thing about Jameis? There is, and we were touching on it earlier, but it's really disrespectful where they've put his interception price.
What is it?
On DK right now, I'm looking at it. It's minus 230.
So what is the no? Like no interception? Under
plus 175.
Wait, what? You can get plus 175 to not to throw an interception.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a good. All right, so reference point here. Spencer Rattler is minus 170.
What are they doing?
Gardner Minshew minus 165.
You know what, Ryan? I'm going to do a great job of framing some.
Dak Prescott minus 135. Daniel Jones minus 145. Jameis Winston minus 230.
Do you know when the last time Jameis Winston threw an interception, Ryan? This is how you frame data. You have to go all the way back to November 12th, 2023.
Wow.
He hasn't. It's almost almost a full year since he's thrown an interception.
Was that the game he decided that Jamal Williams needed to score a touchdown?
No, that was at Minnesota. He randomly played there. All right. So
that's a remarkable interception, and so we almost have to just take the no, right?
Yeah, no, the no is I think kind of fun. CJ, what do you got prop wise?
Just a quick basic one. You went rushing, but this is an RB1 who I think obviously should eat versus Indianapolis Colts awful rush defense, and that's Joe Mixon for Houston Texans. Here's one other thing with it. I mean, I think this might be a tight game, revenge game. I don't like this Texans offense. What's going on with Stroud, especially without Nico Collins? It looks like a real problem. But I do think they'll be able to rely heavily on Mixon this game.
Yeah, and
he should eat him up. My model has him going for over 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ooh. He's got a high number already. I think it's 79.5 as his prop for rushing. I don't think it'll be a problem. I think he easily gets 100 yards versus the Colts.
Yeah, I think even if you like the Colts, I like the Colts. Even if you think maybe they can slow him down a little bit. Right. I mean, the Bobby Sloak offense, like he had 25 carries in that game. To your point, like even if Houston gets up, what are they going to feed him more? Like, and even if they're down a little bit, they're pretty good at sticking with the run. I think he's pretty good for 20 plus carries. So 79. If you assume he's going to get the carries, which I think is a fair assumption, I think that's a good price.
Yeah. That or he carries actually would be a good play, but like you said, like that Texans offense of last year is just not there. It's just not wheeling and dealing.
Almost like there's a sophomore slump going on.
Almost, you know.
My next prop.
Get your Jags division prices in now.
No, baby, Trevor's back.
CJ, pull a ticket over from the deli because that's anytime you give out something that only the Deli Llama would give out.
Deli Llama has plus 1,600. I think they're plus 2,100 to win the division right now.
I need to do it, but
division is. I was looking at Colts 5 to 1.
Let me pull out.
We need a camera. I need to reset.
Look at that look on CJ's
now
face.
I'm getting excited.
I need to reset up camera 4 so you can see the.
A live Deli Llama cam.
My God, 21-1 for your Jacksonville Jaguars to win this AFC
Is that serious?
South.
That's a number.
Absolutely.
Right,
the Deli Llama doesn't give out fake numbers. The Deli Llama will give you corned beef.
We got look at this. Look at this number. Yeah. We got real numbers in here. This is a
we
real
actual,
authentic deli.
Actual numbers coming in to the deli.
Look at that.
The Deli Llama's giving it out.
All right, camera.
No recall on this one. This ain't your boar's head turkey. This could kill you though if you don't get in.
Next week we'll have the camera set up so we can see the pull.
See the poll. Watch it in real time would be awesome. All right, we got plenty more props to come. Before we do, a shout to BetUS, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Plenty of great prop opportunities over on BetUS. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Get in over there. Live betting, make it super easy. Great navigation. Again, it's an online sportsbook. An online sportsbook you can trust. Easy deposit and withdrawal using cryptocurrency. They also have their trick or treat on Horror Street from now until Halloween. Daily promos, raffle entry to win a sports or casino prize pack that they're going to give away on October 31st. You can enter multiple times, and they are giving away that 1960s Ford Mustang. Someone corrected me and they're like, what do you, I misspoke and called it a convertible. He must be a real gearhead because he was like, what do you mean? They didn't, you said 1960 and it was 64 was when they introduced the convertible. So it's 1960s. And I'm guessing it might be 64.
Jesus,
oh man.
But he was all over it. He's a real gearhead. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS, promo code SGPN. All right. I got another prop for you. I've been going to this well. And this well is not dry. It still has water. Give me Bo Nix over 27.5 rush yards. Just smash it. Even without the pass rush, like he just runs. He's a guy who likes to scramble. I know they want him to kind of hang out in the pocket, but Bo Nix is like he's a husky. If he sees a door open, he's going to run away regardless of whether the pocket is safe or not. He just wants to run. I said to Ryan, I go, Ryan,
Good comparison.
That's great.
at 27.5. This number almost feels racist because if you told me there was an African American quarterback who had 136 rush yards in his last 2 games, it would be I'm kind of joking, but not joking. I think the fact that Bo Nix is seen as like a dorky white guy,
you know what?
They're not moving his number up.
I've never had a quarterback on my white angle releases, but you making a good case for it to be my first one. Bo Nix, he reminds me of a Craig Morton, the old Bronco quarterback. I mean, he just loves, like you said, he loves his weaving around.
Yeah, he'll dive.
Absolutely,
he'll dive. He initiates contact.
I have no problem taking advantage of a racist number.
And I think people were quick to the Josh Allen is a running quarterback because he was so big, because he is actually like, I don't know, looks like a little smoother runner.
And they have designed run plays for him. That's the thing with Bo Nix. Nothing looks designed.
No,
with him, he's just
chaos.
He's just
but it works.
Scrambling. Head with
and
chicken
you're going up
off.
against Carolina.
Yeah, it's going against Carolina.
The 27.5. Smash it. Smash it.
I don't see color.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand that last segment you were doing there. Although I will say Daniel Jones gets more respect in the rushing world than Bo Nix, and he got it right away. So perhaps it's something to do with the way Bo Nix plays football. Just looks chaotic the entire time.
I don't see color either, but it's an actual condition. It's colorblind. I can't tell. I can't tell if anything's black or white. When I hear it, I know immediately. That's the thing. Luckily, I can hear race.
Kramer, what do you got?
It is interesting that color blindness affects the colors we chose for stop and go. Very interesting. All right. I know we were talking about the Colts earlier.
Yes.
We're going to talk about not Joe Flacco or Joe Blacko. Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Who has been complete trash.
Yes.
Going to the completions prop, Sean.
Oh,
that was very, very.
What do they hang his completion prop at?
Well, it's been. So I looked at the history this year. It started at. Go ahead.
My total guess is that they would hang it at 15.5. Total guess.
That is exactly what they had it at last week.
Okay.
This week they have it at 16.5.
Really?
Plus money if you want to take the over.
Okay.
Minus 120 if you want to take the under. So the season started 19.5 was the number. It then dropped to 16.5. The season low is actually 14.5. So we're back up to 16.5. I'm obviously going to take the under here. How many completions has he had in his games? It's important to look at the data, right?
Yeah.
9, 17 against that Packers team, which was we all remember that weird game where he refused to run. And then 10, 3, and 10. What, like, where are they getting this number from?
I don't know.
This feels like a mortal lock. and they're going against a Houston defense that you want to run against. Right. You don't want to throw the ball against.
Yeah.
And he's also worth noting his completion percentage above expectation is comically
I think it's
low.
dead last, right?
Last I looked, he was dead last. It could be competition with Mr. Deshaun.
No, I mean, I have an Anthony. I have a positive Anthony Richardson prop, but it doesn't involve passing.
Oh, well, I was gonna say.
Sorry, I was just crunching numbers to see what happens if Jacksonville wins this weekend and the Colts do beat the Texans.
That's a great scenario,
right?
You're already halfway home.
All right,
I mean, you're not getting your 21-1 after that. I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Anthony Richardson ranks,
but maybe
low.
you just parlay Jags.
Parlay Jags Colts.
Yeah, and be happy with the 10-1.
What was that? 750? Come on, what are we talking here?
Anthony Richardson ranks last in the NFL in CPOE plus EPA, the composite ranking. If you only look at CPOE, he is the worst in the league by a wide margin. So it's a number relative to 0, Sean, as you know. Minus 11.3. Second worst is Bo Nix, minus 4.1. So he's off the reservation. He breaks the graph. Anyway,
insane.
Great prop find by me.
Shout out to Peter calling him Anthony Jamarcus Russellson.
Oh, interesting. There's probably something.
It's a lot of combination of names there. CJ, what do you got for us prop wise?
I think you just go Jamarcus Richardson.
Yeah, that has a nice ring to it.
That actually kind of works.
Yeah, it's kind of close.
Yeah, absolutely.
One just worked out.
Well, now I'm going to think of puns this entire time in my back of my mind. It's got to be a Rohan Davey involved, right?
Yeah.
You have to keep it. You have to keep it race related as well. You
can't skip.
It's like comparing a white basketball player not to Larry Bird. Like you have to do it.
You got to start there,
right? I didn't realize it is tight end day, National Tight End Day, so that's going to be pushed on. So of course, luckily I had a tight end prop. But anyway,
tight ends are the chicks at the NFL. We got to talk about
birthday
National
month
Tight End
and all
Day.
that. Yeah, right.
We have our podcast. We have our conference in the summertime.
Absolutely, and there's no more messy tight end. As you would know, back in your old New York Giant days, and then Evan Engram. Ooh. Evan Engram, part of my Jaguars 21-1, which you're trying to talk me off the ledge with a measly 7 plus 750 bet with the parlay. Maybe I'll do both. Who cares? You're right. Maybe I'll do that parlay, Jaguars, Colts, and the division. I mean, why would I limit myself?
Yeah, come on.
Here's the thing with these Jaguars. Now they were just in Europe for 2 weeks, doing what they always do. Now they come back. They used to have the bye after that. Now the Jaguars, they've done this. They do this trip every year. This is old hat to them. They know how to reestablish themselves. They're going to be that annoying people that they take a 2-week vacation of England. Now all of a sudden they're having scones for breakfast and they're calling it the States.
Something up,
right? Yeah, exactly. And they're trying to tell you how it's better. Everything they do is better over there.
Don't ask them for a cigarette.
All right. Fantastic. So we're gonna have to put up with this. But I do think they found something, and a lot of their offense revolves around Evan Engram, of course, and he's just getting healthy. And he's just getting back to it. The Packers are 5th, I think, easiest against a tight end to go against. They're very terrible for tight end. His numbers are 4.5, 48.5. I think they load him up with a lot of receptions. I like the receptions more than the yards, just because there is a scenario where he takes a lot right to the line. They do bubble screens to him. They give him the ball. anytime they try to utilize him. So 4.5 receptions, I'll go with them. I like the yards too, but let's just go 4.5 receptions, Evan Engram for National Tight End Day. My model has him coming in around 6 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
Let's see here. I like the embrace of National Tight End Day. Maybe Anthony Richardson should have been a tight end. I'm going to give out his.
Wow.
There's still time.
Yeah, I'm going to give out
Right.
his anytime touchdown. Is plus 190. Ryan. We thought there was a lot of value there early in the season. He did hit week 1 against the Texans, and then he's been injured. He's been out. He's been hesitant to run the ball. But last week you saw a real, hey, wait, I got to run the ball from Anthony Richardson.
I don't understand why it comes and goes.
Yeah, I don't get it. But his one rushing touchdown came against the Texans previously in this season. So I think he goes back to his rushing ways. Give me Anthony Richardson plus 190 to get in the end zone. Kramer?
All right, so I have another anytime touchdown because it seems like a crazy price, and I'm sure it's related to the fact the team might just suck. But Brock Bowers to score a touchdown is plus 225.
Wow.
Chiefs are horrible to the tight end.
What am I? We were just having this conversation with Kittle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Against the Chiefs. He's really the only thing they got. What am I missing here?
No,
Jesus.
I
feel like Nicolas Cage, and I just stumbled across some old document.
I mean the Rams are also bad against the tight ends. We played his ladder on the Veasan show. I liked his over props. He had a great game. And if you saw at the end of the game when they were trying to score a touchdown before they settled for the field goal to cut it to from 8 to 5 points.
Unreal.
Too soon.
So
Too soon.
so Antonio Pierce could cover 6.5.
Unreal.
He's 10-4-1 against the spread, by the way. As a coach, he knows how to cover.
And he owes,
He is in Vegas.
and he owes a tremendous amount of money and lives in Vegas.
Right.
Not saying, just saying.
Right.
But Bowers against the Chiefs is another great matchup for Brock Bowers. And if you watch those last few plays, like he was triple covered and Minshew was still trying to force the ball in.
Fire it in there.
Yeah, and he's the argument for like it doesn't matter who your quarterback is, he produces, and of course we always have the side of the opposite of Travis Kelce tight end where you flex up and even outplay. Not only are the Chiefs bad against the tight end, but they're trying to show up Kelce in the whole T Swift situation.
That's fair.
So I love the Bowers thing. I can't believe that you put that with Taysom Hill. My God. Not to get into your degen parlay or anything, but I might grab a few of your legs and toss them in mine.
It's an option.
Toss them on my grill.
It's an option.
All right, perfect.
CJ, what's another prop you got?
I'm gonna go down to that Dolphins game, Dolphins Arizona game. I like this spot for Miami. I know, of course, the Tua comeback. Everyone's excited for. At first, I wasn't excited about the Tua comeback because I'm like the Dolphins team, even with Tua, was not really showing much. They should not have lost to my Jaguars on the opening. Should not have beat them. I mean, and then that game versus Buffalo, they were doing terrible until Tua died on the field. But now that he's back, but seeing what they put out there instead of him, right? He has risen. I'm like, you know what? Maybe you just have anyone who's comparable out there with the weapons that they have. And they're happy. You heard Tyreek Hill talking about strike up the band. They're back, just through practice. And this, I will say this, it's a perfect spot with Arizona coming off a Monday night win. Arizona's got a terrible defense anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, how Justin Herbert threw for 330 yards, whatever, and they scored 15 points. It's just insane.
Well, Jalen Reagor was involved, CJ.
Yeah,
and as Eagles fans,
my God,
we know what that wild ride is like.
Absolutely hilarious. So I think is a great spot for Miami in the offense. So I'm not going to go Tyreek Hill because his numbers are back to what they were, even though he will obviously catch after putting up a goose egg last week and staying to strike up band. Jalen Waddle, though, you can always get his numbers at decent levels. And I think this is get 51.5 yards for Jalen Waddle for Tua's return. I think Tua is going to go right back to what he likes, and that is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and a lot of them. No more of your Jonnu Smith nonsense, your Mostert things. I don't care what you want to work in there, McDaniels. Listen, we listen to you. We listen to your clam digger hipster look like the rapper Logic. We don't like you. All right, we're going back to what everyone hears from Miami for, and that is for these stars to be stars. So Jalen Waddle over 51.5 yards smash this play.
No, their passing game. Yeah, I'm still surprised the spread's only 3.5.
Yeah.
I gave it Dolphins out as one of my locks. I think it's just an awesome get right spot. the passing game of Miami against this Cards defense. And this is when you play Miami,
right?
September, October at home against, as a favorite against a non-conference opponent. They show up in, spots like this.
There is the downside of locking up Tua.
Well, here's the thing with Tua too, and it's amazing that
watching Sean watch Tua. God help us if this doesn't go.
It's amazing that he's coming back at all. There's no other job where your boss is just like allowing your employee to go under who might die. Yeah, he might die, but he knows what he signed up for. He's basically like Evil Knievel at this point. Like we're watching it as his sons. But here's the thing with Tua. When he gets those horrible concussions, it's usually when everyone sees it on a Monday night or a Thursday. It's a prime time. It's a big spectacle. An early 10 a.m. game versus Arizona. He's not gonna die there.
No one's even watching.
Right. No one watches that, so he can sneak that in there. So I think he gets through it, and you fire it up while he's in. Evil Knievel. Let's do it. I mean, he's basically doing stunts for us at this point.
I mean, he did.
He's not wearing the Guardian cap.
Right. He had a message for CJ. He said, "Appreciate your concern.
Yeah.
But kindly fuck off."
He doesn't. It's cool.
I'm playing football.
Yeah, come on. Let him play
football over here.
Hashtag let him play.
I liked when Ed Reed was talking about it. He's like, "Yeah, that stuff doesn't work." And then Peyton Manning just like cut off the commercial. It's like cut off the commercial. Like, yeah, we can't. If he acknowledges this right now, I'm getting hurt in my ear.
For me, I know the Eagles secondary has been taking a lot of heat, but when healthy with Avonte Maddox not out on the field, they've done a good job slowing down receivers. I think Jamar Chase under 75.5 receiving yards. Quinyon Mitchell continues to have a good rookie season.
I'll book that.
Eagles secondary is underrated. You like Jamar Chase in this matchup.
I didn't think that was where you were going to attack your pro Eagles bias.
How'd Malik Neighbors do, Ryan?
A little different quarterback situation.
That's probably not a fair comparison, I would say. As someone who doesn't like the Bengals.
Stat wise, it certainly was.
Someone who doesn't like the
Mitchell
Bengals.
got jammed at the line.
Malik Neighbors had like something crazy, like 105 yards of expected. Just wide open. Daniel Jones didn't get the ball.
8 targets, 4 catches, 41 receiving yards. Now maybe Ryan, you can find an expected yards market and play that.
No, I'm just pointing out that Burrow might be better at delivering the football.
Might be, might not.
I thought you were going to go a different direction with your pro Eagles take. That's all.
No, I think they're going to be able to run the ball, and I think I'm more worried about T Higgins than Jamar Chase.
T Higgins is good.
Yeah, he's a good number 2. Maybe even a number 1. But I think they do okay job on Jamar Chase.
My model has them both having fine games, Jamar Chase and T Higgins. I'm all for the Eagles secondary as well. I love the new rookies out there. In with Rico,
they got that white punt returner.
There's a lot of white punt returners.
Cooper DeJean.
Love Cooper DeJean for sure.
Is it DeJean or DeJean?
I think it is DeJean now. I was always going DeJean, but now it seems like DeJean has taken over as the pronunciation.
DeJean when he returns kicks for sure. And DeJean. Yeah, where did you think he was going to go with that? It looked like it was a fade. I didn't know it was that.
I don't know. It's shocking to go after Alpha Dog Jamar Chase.
Well, you went
after
Alpha Dog AJ Brown, and you were burned.
My handicap was still
everyone
correct.
wanted me to remind you that was your prop of the year last week.
Yeah, we can't win them all.
Yeah.
Also, the handicap was accurate. I would have made that bet again.
Right. It took a 4th and 1 audible. Right.
Yeah, wild ass fucking play. All right. You wanted to play a little trivia, Sean?
Sure. Is it related to AJ Brown?
No, it's related to my next prop.
Okay.
Do you still want to play trivia?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I like trivia.
So, what if I told you there's a guy in the National Football League who has thrown an interception in all but 2 games this year?
Okay. I'm listening.
The price for this person to throw an interception this weekend is -125. And in the only 2 games they didn't throw an interception, they didn't play.
So this is obviously Jordan Love.
Jordan Love to throw an interception. What are we doing here? I know I'm just playing the hits, but this is his game log for interceptions. 1, did not play. 3, 1, 1, 2. What?
No, even as someone who likes the Packers in that spot,
-125.
he's good for 1 at least.
He's good for 1.
Jameis Winston is -230.
Actually, CJ Patrick Mahomes leads the league.
Well, they're tied. They're all it's Love, Mahomes, and Minshew tied with 8.
It was a log jam.
Yeah, they're 3 tied with 8. I'm looking at it right now.
We did. It was funny because we did have a piece of Minshew most interceptions at some point in the offseason.
Well, it was
dead.
Yeah,
and now it's back alive.
Well, but Aiden O'Connell, they are trying to play Aiden O'Connell.
He messed up his thumb. No, he
AOC's out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say he's out
6 weeks.
But they did bring in Desmond Ritter.
The Riddler's here.
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce is doing anything he can to play anyone but Gardner Minshew. That's hilarious.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, I love it.
Interception -125.
Who the bet detective, by the way, along with Kramer as my assistant here beforehand, we figured out that Desmond Ritter situation.
Yes.
Because we were like, man, did you see that Desmond Ritter interview there by the locker room? He was crying. He was talking about telling his kid that kid's like, where you going? I was at home. He's like, where you going, Daddy? He's like, I'm going to Vegas. I got a job, basically thing. And he starts crying like, oh man, I'm kind of rooting for Desmond Ritter here. We were like, and we're like, how was he out of football? You know what I mean? He wasn't at home. I mean, he was technically at home when that conversation happened, and he's packing for Vegas. He was on the practice squad for Arizona. He had a job. It's like someone saying, my uncle died of 9/11. Yeah, he died of a heart attack in Hartford, but he wasn't. But it was technically a 9/11.
Wild ass, because both CJ
making
and
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You were
on the practice squad.
The way they frame the clip,
right?
Yeah.
It's like because we both said the same thing. Oh, it's weird that he was on the street.
Yeah, he was
traded
Flacco
for
or
Rondell
something.
Moore, if you remember, in the offseason.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And Atlanta shipped him to Arizona. But yeah, no, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if it's a positive or a negative.
Well, Clayton Tune is the QB sneak specialist that they bring in because Kyler's too short for the QB sneak.
Yeah,
that's kind of emasculating. I got it. I mean, isn't it?
If I was Arizona,
I mean, it's like not being able to do the QB sneak.
Here's what I would do.
You're about to have sex with your wife, and you're like, can someone come in and finish?
Like, Kyler, how do you feel about getting thrown over the line of scrimmage? What if they just threw him over like a ball? Is that against the rules?
Well, put him on your shoulders like a chicken fight, maybe.
Is it illegal to get thrown by your teammate?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Get a backup left tackle and just grab his arms and do one swing around and just launch him over the line.
I know you can't do leverage on block field goals, but I don't think there's a
ring
rule
around the fucking Rosie
against leverage. Launching yourself. Kyler doing a QB sneak is would be amazing.
I want to know if that's legal. Anyway,
right. I'm just thinking of the calling in tune for the finish off the wife.
Yeah, can you
finish off the wife bullpen?
It's the ultimate cuck situation. The QB sneak cuck.
Right. But yeah, but
QB Clayton Tune, QB cuck.
But at least
get the gimp.
Right. But at least you're part of the fluffing situation a little bit. You drove him down there.
Yeah, you got her to third base.
Yeah, you
just couldn't get it.
Just
couldn't get it across the line. Hey, you get a couple pumps, all of a sudden you start thinking. You think about baseball too much. You get soft. Bring in the QB cuck. Finish her off.
Baseball. Another reason to not think about baseball.
All right, CJ.
All right, I was going to go with. I had a couple guys I had written down for interception.
Cuck tuck. There's got to be some play.
Quarterback cuck. The cuck tuck is great.
The cocktail.
Yeah. Cocktails. Woo woo. Remember that song?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, oh yeah, of course I remember cocktails.
Yeah. I knew exactly what you were talking
about. Where was I? Oh yeah. I also agree, of course, with the Jordan Love interception. I'll be on that. I'll be tailing you on that one. I have a couple candidates here for the interceptions.
Very good.
And you look at those top 3. You look at Gardner Minshew. You look at Patrick Mahomes. You look at Jordan Love, all tied for the league with 8 interceptions. And you keep going down. Will Levis up there, who hasn't played in a while.
Yeah,
it's still pretty incredible. Aaron Rodgers, who's been tossing all around, he is even money to throw an interception versus a nice, not bad New England secondary that's been called out recently for being soft. But I'm not going to go with Rodgers. I think he does. I don't think he knows he has to stop throwing interceptions. It's weird when it gets called out. He just doesn't like being publicly called out.
No, he doesn't like that. He likes doing that to other people.
Right. Absolutely. That's what he does.
He prefers it that way.
Minshew throwing an interception -170 is a bit chalky.
Yeah.
You'd have to go to 2 interceptions. That's like almost playing Derrick Henry anytime touchdown, for crying out loud. Although that's Winston numbers. WINS.
Wins a ton.
He put the wins in Winston.
Yeah.
Well, it's wins a ton.
Wins a ton.
Yeah, that's if you take apart his name, wins a ton.
Yes. But I like the leader in interceptions, co-leader, Patrick Mahomes, Showtime Mahomes, in a game that he's going to want to try to force the issue. Of course, everyone's talking about the famed Kermit the Frog roast from training camp.
How can you avoid it?
But I think that leans to our favor with him trying to be aggressive and going for passes, going for spectacular plays. And this Raiders defense actually is a pretty solid defense. I mean, it's hard. They play tough. They're all around. There's talent all around. They're getting healthier. Now their offense has been a disaster. They can't run the ball or throw the ball, which is not a good.
I mean, I like the Chiefs, but honestly, as much as the Mahomes, the Kermit thing, it's more about that Chiefs D line against the Raiders offensive line, and Minshew versus that defense.
Absolutely, and I think Crosby gets to him. I think Mahomes is going to be a little even more reckless, trying to pour it on. So an interception at minus 130, he's at because he's so reckless with it. Give me to lock that up.
Ooh, like that. All right, so we got our 5 picks out. We're going to talk a little ladders, some DGen only parlays. Before we do that, shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code SGPN. Get you a sweet deposit match up to $1,000. A bunch of fun boosts. The boosts are great. Boostober is happening. 20% boost on all NBA pick'em. I keep firing on these NBA ones. Hit a couple. The ones we gave out on the NBA preview, that was an easy cash. If you're listening live, Peyton Pritchard higher 8.5 points. Jeremy Sochan higher 6 rebounds. That's a fun little bonus one. We'll be giving out an Underdog entry here coming up, and use those profit boosts. I just the episode we put in from the NFL Pick Show, Tyreek Hill higher 81.5, K. Dotton higher 47.5. Got a was it 35% profit boost on that? Give you so many ways to win. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN. Kramer, time for some ladder chatter. I'll get the ladder going. Get the beanstalk ready. Climbing all the way to the top. CJ, I was worried was going to completely unfurl my ladder, but he started. Well, because I also saw Cedric Tillman. Saw his crazy target share. He had 8 catches last game. Now maybe I'm chasing ladder steam here, but why not take Cedric Tillman again? The Ravens led the league in receptions allowed to the receivers. 4 is plus 127, 5 is 225, 6 436, 7 861, and 8 is 1751.
To do exactly what he did last week.
He had 8 catches last week. For him to get 8 catches again, it's 1750 to 1.
Yeah.
And I already bet it, Ryan. So if you're trying to bet it, you better bet it now before some of the listeners get in there.
I love it.
I'll get in, but I have a different Cleveland ladder.
Oh, okay. Are you going in Njoku receiving yards?
I'm gonna play the Njoku receiving ladder.
Let's go.
Njoku, as I said, basically a Greek god, but a black guy, so African god.
Yes.
If he showed up as your firefighter stripper, you would lose it.
I love how that's where the first thing your head goes
to.
What
do you mean? He's beautiful.
Is that he would be a great stripper.
And look at him.
Yeah,
look at that body.
He does have the hair of a male stripper. I don't know if we can.
And he was not being utilized with this previous iteration of Kevin Stefanski's calling the plays and Deshaun Watson / DTR throwing the ball. So now we got Jameis. And just like last year when Joe Flacco came in the situation, what happened? Immediately, Njoku again activates. Better. He had 14 targets last week. Granted, a lot of those were DTR. But at the end of the game, who scored the touchdown, Sean?
Njoku. Yes. I like that.
So 52 yards is as you gave out for your prop is the base level. Then we go 70 yards plus 185, 90 yards 4 to 1. I'm hopping levels here a little bit. Then we go 100 yards is 6 to 1. He only had 79 yards last week on 10 catches, but I think this week with the week of practice and the way Jameis likes to throw that seam pass, we're going to see some nice big ones. 110 yards is 9 to 1.
Wow.
What?
Love it.
That's
great.
I
mean,
thank you.
I think it's going to be Tillman and Njoku. Ryan, of course, saying Njoku would make a great male stripper. Just imagine, you and your.
I wasn't trying to be controversial.
You and your gals are at a bachelorette party.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get this guy popping by.
A real smoke, as Cousin Mush would say, real smoke show.
Ryan, it's
You'd
not
say that about Njoku.
Why is it not? Why is it not letting me share on the screen?
I don't know. I don't see that you've shared anything.
Okay.
So
Do I need
if you want to send
do
it
I
to
need
me.
to fill in the role for Njoku? I can do that. I can emulate what they're what the gals are going to see.
Okay, now we got it.
Now we got it.
All right. So there you go.
They answer the door. Is that the police?
You
Were we
could
too
make it
loud
bigger.
Were we too loud, officer? Are you a real cop? Is that what's going on here?
The blonde strands
Make it
died.
full screen on your side, Sean.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get this larger. But he does have stripper. Now also imagine sculpted pecs.
Oh, I've been doing that
Sculpted pecs.
since you brought him up.
Amazing biceps and triceps.
Ryan is a bigger fan of Njoku than I ever imagined.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, just for this weekend.
CJ, what do you got?
You're the reporter Paul George was talking about. All these
meat watcher.
Or meat
watcher. Ryan.
What is it called? A double entendre,
Right.
tight end when we're talking about
yes.
Njoku.
Who was the guy who he asked? I think it was DJ Moore or something. Yeah, I think it was DJ Moore. He asked him
What? About his tight end?
he asked about because Caleb Williams has been more vocal or something like that, more mean. That's what he said. He's been more mean as a leader, and he's saying, "Oh, it's good to see, whatever, blah blah." And the reporter goes, "Does that please you that he's mean now?" And DJ Moore said, "Whoa, take pause here. No, does not.
Does that work? Is that doing something for you?
Well, yeah, exactly. What are you looking for here? Yeah, it's a pretty funny clip." All right, let's get into the game now. Here's what comes my ladder. Some of my formulas here with the ladder.
Yeah.
I like to get the offshoot receivers here that have a lot of speed receivers that can put up yards. That's one angle I go to. This is a rare one where I'm going with the number 2 receiver. We're going to go to terrible defense here. I'm going to that Denver Carolina game. Now I feel like this is going to be a Bo Nix kind of not a showout game. Obviously not in a welcoming part. He still skips balls like he's throwing a rock across the river, but. If any time Bo Nix should have a good time, a good game throwing the ball, it should be at home versus Carolina. This absolute disaster of a defense. The one Mariota just lit up for 300 yards last week. Now, that being said, I'm not going to go for the speed guy Franklin, because I don't think a lot, like you said, like a lot of Bo Nix's plays aren't designed. It's a lot of just crazy. You got to bring him back. You got to come back to him on a lot of plays. You got to cut across. You got to read his mind. And he's got a little bit of a connection with my man Devin Vailay.
Oh yes,
Ooh.
I like Vailay. I gave his over for the Thursday night game, and he had 3 separate catches called back because of weird penalties. Yeah, so he was obviously part of the game plan.
He was a hot name coming into last week for sure. He's actually in the fantasy circles. Not Njoku hot, not come stripper hot, but he was still a buzz was happening with
Let
Vailay.
me get my fire hose.
And you're right. And he's his numbers cooled off a little bit because he didn't put up a great stat line versus New Orleans. And then that was a game that actually put to bed early in that game.
Yeah.
But I like him. He's a big guy, and Peyton likes big receivers. He went to Utah. He's one of those guys. But he if you look at the game, he did explode on versus the Chargers a couple weeks ago. He's running a lot of 20-yard ins and 18-yard ins. He gets solid chunks. So his total is lower. His base ground to get the ladder going is 2.5 catches, 25 yards for daily versus Carolina defense. So I'm going to go with the yards. The yard numbers is juicier, obviously, because you would think he's more of a reception guy, which you can get that high, you can get that pretty high.
But I think he has a chance for some yard.
Absolutely, absolutely, and he's done running after the catch. He did a 35-yarder to the house in that Charger game. A scrambled play where he was coming back for a 5-yard flip, whatever like that, and he likes him, and he's been connected with him. We'll go up a rung, 45.5 yards. This is from Bet Online, plus 242. 55 yards is plus 411. 411. What's the 411? Grand Puba? Vailay. That's what it is. 65.5 plus 721. Now, if we want to get to the beanstalky, Devin Vailay for 75 yards versus Carolina Panthers.
Feels realistic.
Plus 1319.
What?
It's not realistic.
I'll tell you, not realistic.
We're leaving reality.
I'll tell you, not realistic. This is your never-ending story, if you will. The original Imagine Dragons.
Oh, wow.
Imagine Dragons, who will be at Hollywood Bowl this week, as part
Nice plug.
as part of
Traffic get on.
as part of Carmageddon that's going on here, right? With Traffic Con happening in LA this
Stay
weekend.
in your houses.
Yeah, exactly. The original Imagine Dragons, the never-ending story one, 85.5 yards for Devin Vailay versus the horrendous Carolina Panthers, plus 25.44.
You're gonna knock one of those Chinese drone shows out of the sky.
That's my flatter.
Yeah, you're gonna personally return the rocket for Elon. You don't need. You'll be up there. You'll be up that high, CJ. I love the Vailay angle because yeah, I mean, why not? Why not Devin Vailay in against that matchup? Their defense is horrible,
Right, and he is the clear-cut number 2 now for sure. And Cortland, I mean, opposite of Cortland Sutton, you got Mims, who's like in Franklin. They rotate those guys in there for speeds guys, but like he's running a huge share of the routes and snap count.
All right, a little hashtag Degens only parlay, and then we'll do an underdog entry. For me, the Degens only parlay. I like doing these 2 touchdowns, combining them, playing around with those. I'm gonna start with obviously we're gonna put David Njoku in there. 2 touchdowns, 25-1. Like it solo, like it as part of a parlay. The next part of the parlay, in honor of tight end week, let's go to that Packers Jaguars game. The Jags have let up 4 touchdowns to the tight ends so far this season, and of course Tucker Kraft already has a 2 touchdown game in him. I think he could have one more this season. Give me Tucker Kraft 2 touchdowns individually. That's 16-1. Parlay those 2 touchdown tight end parlays, and you get it to 441-1. Perfect. Degen only special.
Hashtag Degens only.
Other people in consideration. We got Taysom Hill, Brock Bowers, Anthony Richardson. Those are, they might make the VSiN at many touchdowns.
Okay.
A little teaser.
It's a lot of touchdowns.
You know.
Some nice TDs.
Oh, love some good TDs. Some big TDs. Ryan, what do you got for a Degen only parlay?
Well, in honor of Jameis returning, I figured let's just make this about Jameis. 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Cedric, Tillman, and Njoku both have 90 yards and a touchdown.
Okay.
It's very correlated here.
Yeah.
Again, Jameis, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
90 yards for Tillman, 90 yards for Njoku, touchdown for each of them.
Right.
That's basically 6 things, but kind of like one thing.
I mean,
bundle it
The
together.
one thing is just Jameis having a good game.
Yeah, it's what Baker did in a game that got blown out in. Why can't it happen?
Give
versus
me a
Ravens?
rough price in your mind of what this is.
I'll say 371-1.
370 or 475 to 1.
Whoa!
Now, if you want to add some symbolism and you think the Browns can score 4 touchdowns, you add Nick Chubb to this. Nick Chubb anytime to this. It juices it from 475 to 1 to 1,500 to 1. So your $100 would win 150K.
That's nuts.
Let's go.
That's getting you
That's
started
amazing.
on a home, right?
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a down payment anywhere not named California.
CJ, can you hit us with a Degen only parlay?
Of course, I'm gonna hit you with a Degen parlay.
go.
Yeah, shout out to the chat, by the way. As J Mark, I see him popping up in there. He called me the crazy uncle back here, trying to get in
Well,
between
when
of
mom and
the parents.
dad are
Right.
fighting.
He said when mom and dad are fighting, that means you two.
Oh,
But he said, "Can I intervene?"
Is
as
Sean
the
mom?
crazy uncle? I would have,
Or
J
my
Mark,
mom?
until you insulted me. I'm just kidding.
who's the mom and who's the dad?
Right.
Can we get a survey going?
Well, it's fluid nowadays. Sean. You can't designate
Hey,
genders
listen,
like that. Frank.
I identify as left side of the table.
Okay.
We're gonna do that. Like we said, I like to keep it simple with the 2 easy things. Two things to happen instead of the anytime touchdown. I went with these numbers last week, and this is an angle I almost hit when I hit the one leg with it before, and so I want to go back to this well again of the revenge 2-time first touchdown games. The Malik Willis hit that one, and I was riding high with that half one. That's quite a sweat. When you hit that first touchdown and you parlay with one guy, and you're sweating that first quarter of that other game. That's
Once you're activated,
Right.
there's nothing else.
That's
that
a
can
ride.
Compare.
that
There's
is quite a
nothing
ride.
else.
Fuck your nerfy or your nerfy.
No, there's
Yeah,
nothing else.
right.
that can
Now, do you break
compare.
them up between time zones? Because that I think is kind of fun. You
That's
get to
fun too. I
extend
mean,
it.
now you got 3 hours, and that's all you can think about, you know. But then you have too much time to think about it. Next thing you're hedging with first touchdown bets, and you don't want to get in that world.
No.
for sure,
No.
for chalk. But we already mentioned it. The Kermit the Frog revenge angle there with Patrick Mahomes, and there's no better way for Patrick Mahomes to do that revenge. He likes to talk shit in that Kermit the Frog voice, and I can see him getting a rushing touchdown. Let's get him the first touchdown in the game. I believe he's at 14-1.
Okay,
something like that.
Nice
Patrick
start.
Mahomes, absolutely nice start there. And he's a very willing runner, of course, and people will not touch him. And he's been deemed a genius, an unstoppable move as he rushes to the sideline. So I like Patrick Mahomes first touchdown. And this was not quite a revenge game, but this is the game pushing the same window that got pushed back. This was supposed to be the matchup between Caleb and Jalen. It's going to be Mariota instead, but it's still going to be a primetime type game. I believe Caleb will want to show out.
Oh yeah,
in this absolutely game, and he's at around the same odds. He's 13-1 to score that first touchdown. You parlay Caleb for Jamar and the Bears first touchdown, along with Mahomes revenge angle.
I like this.
That's 210-1.
Woo! Like it. Yeah, any
first touchdown.
Quarterbacks in big
first touchdown.
spots.
Get it in, get it out with.
Can I throw one other thing out there?
Sure.
For the people. And Sean, we
got our underdog entry.
Yeah,
too.
but we might want to call the accounting team and get this one. Taysom Hill 2 touchdowns.
Got it.
Brock Bowers 2 touchdowns.
I also like this. Yes.
David Njoku 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
Yes.
Those 6 touchdowns.
Okay.
Plus 1, 2, 1, 6, 7, 0, 0. So $100 bet would pay $1.2 million.
Oh my God.
Sean, I'm suggesting that we take some resources and round robin this.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers, Taysom Hill, and Njoku, right?
Yeah.
All right. I got some work to do.
Yeah.
Underdog fantasy though. Underdog fantasy. Let's get a underdog entry. Little 3 entry. Nothing too crazy.
Right.
3 or 2?
3.
Okay.
1 for each of us.
Okay.
And I got a 50% profit boost I'm looking at. NFL only $1,000 max. Wow, they keep throwing these things in here. And we also got a gimme pick. Change any pick to 0. Okay. I'm going to use that. All right. Kramer, start us off. What do you got?
Do we want to recycle something from earlier in the show? Because sure. It's hard to look past Jameis.
Okay.
The yardage is so ridiculous.
Yeah. That's a simple one. Jameis higher 227.5 passing yards, right?
Wins a ton.
Yeah. No, it covers us for a lot because we got the Tillman angle, we got the Njoku angle.
All right, what else we got?
Okay. CJ, what do you got?
All right, it's not a juicy one, but I like. I mean, some of these kicker props, they just hit every single time. I don't understand why these lines are still 1.5 field goals for some of these kickers.
That's just where they put them.
Right. It's just so they don't know. They don't know any other way to put the line. I mean, it really is.
Who's the kicker you got circled, CJ?
I got a kicker who just absolutely doesn't miss, especially at home, and that's Houston Texans Kyrie Firebarn. He's straight money. They throw him out there from 65 yards, whatever.
It's true,
and he just drills them. And we already went over this offense.
True.
It's a much more conservative.
I like this angle.
Yep.
A lot of scoring opportunities. It's not up and down.
I got to be honest, Sean. I'm putting the big boost on here. I think.
Yes.
What about
gimme pick or big boost?
I'm doing the gimme pick on Winston.
Okay. Oh no, I don't want a gimme pick. Yeah, I see what you do. You get a freebie.
Yeah.
Gimme pick you want to do for a one guy.
Yeah, this is I'm going big on.
Yeah, let's go 50% boost.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do the profit.
All right,
boost instead.
What's your contribution?
For me,
no pressure.
I'm going to say Brock Bowers, higher receiving yards. This guy is just going to get fed. Chiefs are horrible against the tight end. It's at 58.5.
Oh, that's great. Right. I love it. I mean, if Kyle Pitts can hit that number, what do you think Brock Bowers is going to do?
6.97x.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
What's the max on this boost?
1,000.
1,000. Do I go 500?
I think you sign up for another account.
500.
I mean, we get that.
How we feel good about this, right?
Fire up the
500
burners.
to win 34.85.
Yes.
Let's go.
Jameis Winston higher 227.5. Kyrie Fairbairn higher 1.5 field goals made. Brock Bowers higher 58.5 receiving yards.
I'm putting it in.
All right, we're all in. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, this is it. We're going big this weekend, guys.
Going big.
Big game fishing.
Big game hunting. Fishing.
Hunting or fishing? I'm more of a fisherman.
Yes. Hey, make sure you check out CJ on the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. Also, will catch him on our VSiN show most weeks there, giving out some bonus ladders. Kramer and I, of course, do our first any many touchdown segment. That's a lot of fun. Tail the tape. Hit my tail the tape parlay last week. 4-teamer NFL, no big deal. 12-1. VSiN show tomorrow night, 8:00 Pacific. Get it on YouTube TV and toss us a nice 5 stars on Spotify. Help us combat the war on corporate gambling and hashtag. What is it? Clean for leans.
Clean the lean.
Clean the lean.
Clean the lean.
Clean the leans, right?
Yes.
Clean the leans.
You know what we can do? We can do like power cleans. Like we're cleaning the lean. There's so many good things here.
Hashtag clean the leans. Keep that up. Keep up the good work, audience.
We can dust a model of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
You guys
clean the lean.
You guys are the real heroes.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Just quick PSA, Sean. When dealing with crypto, DYOR.
Kramer, let it ride.